Hey everyone, and welcome back to Woo Woo Wednesday, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards. I'm Brittney Carmichael, the founder of Shine School and the Shine from the Inside Oracle, and I empower spirited female entrepreneurs to break free of the fear that stops them from shining their light, so that you can go after your wild and crazy dreams. And this week, I'm super jazzed to share that we have a new moon in Sagittarius with a solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse. And this eclipse, we just had an eclipse on the last moon, got an eclipse here. Like I said, they come in pairs, they come in threes. This is so important for you to realize that we're going through a gateway, we're going through a portal. We are leaving behind the old. This new moon in Sag really represents a new belief we have about ourselves. So I'm super excited to dive into that with you today and pull some cards for some wisdom. And I even brought an extra deck today because, you know, when things are changing, when we're shifting, which is the course I'm working on for you guys, when we're being called to up level, the thing that we can fall back on so that we don't get trapped by fear is gratitude. And so for my birthday, one of my goddesses from the retreat sent me this gratitude oracle deck. So I am gonna pull a card along with the Shine from the Inside oracle cards today to kind of set the tone for where can we bring more gratitude into our life. It might even be towards the challenges, right? So I'm super excited to pull some cards to dive into the energy of the new moon and Sag. This is gonna be such it's like a hot bath. It's gonna feel so good. It's like we're detoxing out all the fear, all the old beliefs, all the limiting labels, and then we're creating a vacuum, creating space for the new, so this new moon eclipse can bring it into us. So I'm gonna take a moment to say hello to everyone who's alive. Hello everyone, I'm checking out your comments over here on Facebook, in my group, on Instagram. It's so good to see everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you'd like to be notified of all the weekly wisdom that I drop, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell button, hit the likes, whatever you gotta do. Let's get this party started. It is so cool to be able to hang out with you guys and to really be able to share this wisdom, because I feel, hello double Pisces, I feel like this is a time where fear can really start to creep up when we're in that transition in between state. So many people are changing right now. So many things are changing, and not just because of the stuff they're sticking in their bodies, if you know what I'm saying. We're actually changing on a collective conscious level, and the ones that are putting in the work, the ones that have the desire to be more aware, are actually being gifted with higher levels of consciousness and higher vibration to be able to help make that expansion with ease and effortlessness. It's just such a really cool time right now for us to bring more light into this world. So I'm just so excited. You look so sparkly and beautiful. Thank you. Embodying sparkle magic with that shirt. Literally, Chris told me I put it on today. He goes, I'm pretty sure that's like you in a t-shirt form. Like that's your essence. So thank you, ModCloth, for finally catching up with me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my cards, shuffle, and just get this party started. Love the energy coming in. Yes, yes, yes. So I wanna tune in. Take a moment. If you're here, take a nice long deep breath in through your nose, fill up your lungs, let your belly expand, hold it, pause at the top. And then let it go, sigh it out, release it. If you need to do that a few more times, the more you concentrate on elongating your breath, the more relaxed and controlled, the more relaxed and the more control you have over your stress levels. I don't know where Mercury is right now, but my communication is getting all jumbly, so we need to pay attention, right? Hello, hello. Thank you so much, Tamika. It's good to see you, sweet goddess. All right, so I'm gonna start with the cards from the Shine from the Inside, and then I'm gonna pull one card from the Gratitude Oracle, because gratitude right now is what we need to come home to during the times of change. So I'm gonna be shuffling from the Shine from the Inside Oracle. If you guys don't have this deck, I just sent in 500 more decks to Amazon so that Christmas shoppers could go crazy and gift all their soul sisters this self-love tool so that they can commit to their self-care rituals. So okay. We already have two cards that have popped up, and I say let's just go ahead and pull the third one from the Gratitude Oracle. You just gotta love when that happens. And speaking of magical things happening, I have the most insane story for you guys today. So last night, Chris and I have been decorating the Christmas trees and all the things, right? And last night I asked him, can you pull down all the totes? Hello, can you pull down all the totes from the closet that are Christmas and we can start putting out the decor? And Chris pulls down 3 different totes, and one of them has ornaments in it, but it's actually not a Christmas box. I'm looking at it because it's right next to me. It's actually not a Christmas box, but it did have ornaments, so that was kind of weird. But everything in it is like fragile, breakable figurines that my grandmother has given me over the years. She's gifted me all kinds of breakables and collectibles, and when we moved, I packaged it all up and I put it in this box, and I haven't opened it since. Well, as I was going through it last night, it was like memories flooding, just like hitting me left and right. All the Cinderella stuff from my wedding was in there. It was really beautiful. And I just looked at Chris and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really feel like grandmother is with me right now. I feel her so deeply. I said that, and then boom. I unwrapped a little tiny, you know, like newspaper wrapping, and I opened it up to find this glass figurine. And they're called the pains, if anyone's ever heard of it. It's like little children, like headache, toothache, stomach ache. And my grandmother had them when I was a little girl. I'm gonna put this deck down because I like to talk with my hands. So I pull out this thing and I look at it, and I looked up at Chris, and I just hysterical. Screaming, crying. I just kept saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, because I looked like I was like dying or something. And Chris looked up and he goes, what is it, babe? And I said, my grandmother had these figurines when I was a little girl, and she said, I picked 2 of them up and gave her the look, and she said, don't you dare. And I went and broke them, right? She said she was so mad at me because, you know, my grandmother loved collecting all the expensive breakable shit. And the last thing my grandmother said to me before she died was, look at all this shit. More stuff for you girls to go through. And that has sat with me for the last 2 years so deeply about our obsession with buying shit, right? I still buy my sparkly tops when I find the perfect one. But when I stood up from the couch after crying, the figurine was in my lap and it fell and it broke in half, exactly where I broke it as a little girl. I looked at Chris, and something inside of me immediately asked, what's the time? What time is it? I looked at my phone and it was 10:13. If you guys know from last month, or I guess technically 2 months now that we're in December, my birthday is 10:13. So I knew for sure, without a doubt, that my grandmother was with me last night. I called my mom up on FaceTime and I was like, hey girl, grandma's in the house if you want to talk to her. It was the most beautiful experience. I'm sad, but Gorilla Glue fixes almost everything. If you have a broken heart, just get some Gorilla Glue. It'll be fine. No, I'm just kidding. So I was able to glue it back together, and I felt like I could hear my grandmother talking to me as I was gluing it back together, like, make sure you rub that off and you don't get this stuck. It was really powerful. And so I share that with you because if you've had someone that you love that has passed, know that you are never alone and that they are always with you. And if you just ask for a sign. I literally was standing at my altar earlier in the day and I saw my grandmother's pictures on it. I was like, I miss you. I miss you. And that's how she showed up. So it was really, really a beautiful experience. And I thought I just had to share that with you because I know a lot of you are woo-woo and into these kind of magical stories. And you know, you can't convince the logical brain of like, well, that just, I'm not here for those people because magic can only be experienced. And if you've had a magical moment, then you know, and there's no convincing. No, oh my God, amazing grandma in the house. I know, when it broke, I thought, well, there's so much symbolism here, and I had to unpack that for a minute. So, all right, carry on. I just wanted to share that magical story with you guys. It really was absolutely incredible, and it made me feel like, oh God, they really are with us, and they'll make themselves known, clear, and obvious if you allow it. All right, I'm gonna shuffle and get the one card. There it is, the one card from the gratitude deck. And let me show you guys this deck really quick. So this is from Angela Hartfield. This is called Gratitude Oracle, and it's all about giving thanks and like looking into different areas of your life that, you know, just pay attention to, right? We've got reveal, between, which is where we're at right now. Hello. Security. Oh my God, you guys know my spirit animal is a fox named Carl. You can't make this shit up. You just can't make it up. Okay, look at those beautiful cards. Such a beautiful deck. It always makes me feel like come home to my soul kind of vibe, and an attitude of gratitude just makes everything better. So this is a really beautiful deck if you are looking for some upliftment and positive vibes, because you guys know my Shine from the Oracle is all about positivity, but it'll also pop you in the ass with truth, and some people don't like that. Okay, here we go, hold on. I'm gonna catch up with your comments. If you've had a spiritual, magical story where your past loved ones have come through like that, I would love to hear it. Shoot me a DM, send me a voice note. I wanna hear about it. Charlene says, I had spirit come up behind me the other day and place 2 very cool hands on my cheeks when I was stressed, and my cheeks were getting hot from anger. Woo, yes. One time my dad came by, I was sitting on the edge of my bed doing my cards, and I felt him squeeze my shoulder and I could smell him. I was like, oh, you're here. Like, that's so weird. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah, if you smell things, if you hear certain music, even if you just have like a memory that like seems like it's coming out of the blue, it's a sign for you. Wow, just saw the magical owl, that magical owl. Oh, I love this deck. Yes, look at all the beautiful cards. Okay, you guys ready for this? I'm gonna dive in. We got 2 cards from the Shine from the Inside Oracle, and we've got 1 from the Gratitude Oracle. If you're ready, hit the likes, hit the hearts, and we'll get this party started. That way I know you're here, you're ready, you're present, and we can tune into this magic. All right, new moon in Sag. You know, okay, let's talk about Sag really quick. Adventurer, spontaneity, it's where our beliefs about ourselves originate from. So with this new moon in Sag, this is about taking all the beliefs that we had about ourselves and redirecting that Sagittarius arrow into alignment with the new destiny and direction that we want to go. Over the last decade, you've acquired all this new wisdom and knowledge about yourself, and the beliefs that you had 10 years ago might be the same ones you're still operating from unconsciously at this time. So it's really important for us to start paying attention to the things that we say. You know, whenever I'm coaching people, I always have them do like a 24-hour review of like, this is also in Shine School. Pay attention to what you say over the next 24 hours, and if you start to hear your story, your dialect to other people come from a negative place of, I can't, it won't be possible, that's hard, then that is the belief system that you're operating off of, even unconsciously. I know you're saying it and you're probably like, yeah, this is just how it is, but we know that's not true. It will be true if we make it true, and a lot of us are living by that hustle mentality, and we feel like we have to grind to be successful, but that's just not the way that it's meant to be. And it's the way that our culture has programmed us, so that would be 9 to 5 robots, which is technically 7 to 7, because nobody's just rolling up and, you know, getting up at, 8:45, gotta go to work. So we're put into a box to be a robot. And taking time to step back from this like day-to-day freaking routine or rut gives you that space to kind of reassess your life. Chris and I right now are wiping everything off our table. Literally, like, oh, here we do the podcast, we have YouTube, we do the things, and the membership club, and coaching, and retreats, and we are throwing everything on the table. We've just wiped it off, and we said, what do we really want to do now? What feels good for us now? Because the vision that we had over 6-7 years ago to get us here in this online business and, grow the elevated life and shit, the whole empire. Well, now what we used and thought of and operated from, and our beliefs that we were, that were guiding the way, no longer align with moving into that next expanded version of ourselves and our business. So it's really important for you to constantly, every full moon, hello, if you're paying attention, I talk about releasing every full moon and calling in something new, setting new, clear intentions with who you authentically are now. Because even yesterday, I was a completely different human, right? So you have to always be reassessing. Okay, who needs the cards anyway? Let's go. First one, believe in yourself, unleash your inner unicorn. Well, hello, that's what we're talking about here. This is about Sagittarius, and there's a horn. I feel like the arrow, I don't know, it just something. The unicorn is a representation of that magical side of yourself that it's like sometimes hard to showcase, but you can feel it inside. And that's what the belief is, right? Your confidence is based upon your belief. And actually, since we're talking about confidence right now, if you guys struggle with confidence, self-love, your self-image, then you definitely want to check out this month's masterclass in the Elevated Life Club, because we're covering self-image and how to upgrade it. Chris and I have been talking like everyone wants a new year, new me kind of vibe, but it's gonna stay same old if you don't do something different in here, right? And when we change in here, we take different action. So it all starts with the way that we think. And this card is saying it's time to unleash that magical side of yourself and believe anything is possible. And that may sound weird or frou-frou or whatever, but would you rather live in faith or fear? And that's the separation between people who are living magical, abundant, synchronistic, free-flowing lives. And you're like, why is it so hard for me? It's because you think it's hard. Next one. Oh, geez, man, just following up with the magic. Look for the signs and synchronicities. Just like I was I must have known. I was supposed to share that story about my grandmother coming through yesterday. Look for the signs and synchronicities. Let me repeat. Everyone pay the fuck attention right now. Whatever you're doing, if you're distracted, pay attention. Everything you see or come across in your reality is a sign. From the rock that you kick on the ground, to the weird color on the wall, to the bird that flew by, to the phone call and the weird text message you got, or to that accidental thing that came in the mail, everything is a sign. And when I say look for the signs and synchronicities, of course we go for the butterflies and the rainbows and the pennies and the feathers and all the like 1111 and the pink car or the fox, you know, but the truth is, if we can start asking ourselves, what is this here to show me? What am I supposed to learn from this? We can start becoming a student to every single experience that crosses our path. So this is saying, have eyes open, have your eye open, not your physical eyes, but have your inner eye open to have that expanded awareness to be able to see beyond the mundane world and go, oh wow, it's not just a blue car, that actually reminds me of XYZ, and that brings me into a feeling, right? So every single thing in your life is a sign. Now, one thing I want to share with you guys about this is that when you're first starting out connecting with spirit guides and the unseen world, and you want signs, the most important thing that you can do is to come up with the sign yourself. Stop waiting for your guides to just be like, here I am, let me break your figurine so that you know it's a sign. What I share in this card, so if you have the deck, you know that there's a 150-page colored guidebook, and inside the guidebook not only are all the meanings, but different exercises and affirmations and journal prompts that you can use to help really dive deeper into the soul work. And what I share in the guidebook on the signs and synchronicities card is that you need to come up with your spirit sign. And we actually just covered spirit signs on the Elevated Life podcast just a couple weeks ago, so I would if you're like, oh, this fascinates me, definitely check that out. But picking your own spirit sign will give you the logical reasoning of, oh, well, I asked for a pink car and a pink car showed up, right? So we're not just like waiting for our logic to be like, oh, no, that's not a sign. That's not a sign. That's not a sign. And we dismiss it. Our logic dismisses the magic, right? Intuition is knowing beyond logic. So you can't bring your logical mind into the magical bullpen and expect to, like, I say know things, but we're not talking about a deep knowing, like think things, right? So pick your spirit sign. Mine, you'll find on the card. It's a pink car. I thought, there's no way you're gonna see pink cars. No way. And lo and behold, I can't tell you how many pink cars that seemed to roll by in the perfect timing. Actually, the other day for Thanksgiving, we were down in Austin at the lake, and it's just deer everywhere. And the deer were coming up, I was feeding the deer, and it was a magical moment. I'm like communicating with them. And all of a sudden this, hold on guys, my shit just died. Hang on now. Oh, I guess we're out of storage then. All of the deer like are coming to me. I feel like I'm in like Pocahontas, and boom, hot pink Suburban comes coming over the hill. And I looked over at Chris and he was like, mm-hmm. Yep. So it's just so amazing. Pick your spirit sign and be open to receive it. All right, last card, and this comes from the Gratitude Oracle. This is assessment. Ah, man, like psychic abilities are going crazy lately. Assessment. This is saying it's time to reassess everything on the table, just like we talked about. We've got a new year coming up, but most importantly, we have a new moon this weekend with an eclipse, and that means it is a fresh start. So drop everything that doesn't feel good, assessment, what you want in your life for the next chapter, and set a boundary around it. If you want to improve your health, like let's reassess. If you want to improve your health, you got to stop buying the chips at the store. And y'all, I'm talking to myself, okay? If you want something different, you have to do something different. And this card is really a powerful one of allowing for this transformation to happen, letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore, and really giving yourself permission to say yes to what feels good. Colors of the Wind song. Tell me what you mean by that. Does it just look like Colors of the Wind to you? Kind of does, right? Okay. What do we need to know this week? Oh, hello, Melissa. So good to see you. Thoughts, questions, ideas. I'm just checking everyone's comments. What dream clients then I gotta say not to anyone who isn't? What dream clients then I gotta say no to anyone who isn't? I think there's a typo in there, but what I'm taking from it is you absolutely should say yes to your dream clients and hell no to anyone who makes you feel bad. Want and say no. Oh, my typing has been so bad. I'm telling you, I don't know. I haven't looked at Mercury lately. I don't know where he is, but our communication, right? It's crazy. Okay, so this week, new moon. Hello, get back to this moment. New moon this Saturday, Sagittarius, all about updating your beliefs. And I'd say the cards aren't lying. Believe in yourself, unleash your inner unicorn. Look for the signs and synchronicities. Things are changing, so start asking for help and clues. You have everything you need within you. You just have to pay attention when it shows up. And then assessment. Assess where you're at. Is it a 7 or above? Listen, join the 7 or above club in the elevated life and learn the tools that we use to be able to set those boundaries and say, this isn't for me anymore, no thank you. Especially if you're someone who's struggling with confidence. Our self-image masterclass drops on December 14th, so you want to be in the club when this happens. We do a live 90-minute masterclass, and it is absolutely life-changing. What makes our club so different and powerful compared to other programs or memberships is that we actually guide you through 3 meditations that do the work on a subconscious level, because no change happens outside of the subconscious. We can tell ourselves a million different times, we want something different, but if we're doing it from our rational mind or our conscious mind, it ain't gonna happen, right? How many of you said you want something to change and it's still the same? Okay, it's because you have to change the subconscious, and that's what my husband is an expert in, and why we team up together in the Elevated Life Club to bring you that wisdom. So shout out to anyone who's looking to up-level their confidence and take their worth, is what I'm hearing, like their worth to the next level. This is the place to be. You definitely want to come join us in the club. So we'll see you there. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is our retreats next year. So Chris and I, talking about assessing our life and assessing our business and what feels good, I'm letting it all go. I've even thought about letting go of social media. So that's kind of on the table right now. I know we're here on social media and I love hanging out with you guys, but it's just part of the conversation. Everything that we spend our time doing, we have to reassess. And so one of the things that we've been talking about is what we want to focus on in 2022. And it's retreats and coaching. So in the first quarter, we've got our Evolved Couples Retreat that's going down in Destin, Florida, 2/22/22. So excited about that magical day and to create stronger, more intimate partnerships. This is not for couples in crisis. I don't want to hear about your problems. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to pull out your problems that you don't even know you have. That's the kind of magic work that we want to do. If you got the obvious problems and you guys can't even talk or communicate and you haven't had sex in like 6 months or a year, this ain't for you. Like you won't be ready for it, just to be honest. But if you already are in love with your partner, you feel really good, but maybe there's just we could increase our communication, or we could work together on building our dreams together. This is really who this experience is for. It's for those that are willing to do the work to take their goals individually and together and take them to the next level and support each other on that. I can't tell you how many women I coach that I ask okay, so where's your partner in all this? Oh, nope. He's not into this kind of stuff. Nope, we can't even have that conversation. And it really breaks my heart. But it also shows me that women are on the rise. So if I can help you to reclaim your power so that you no longer are looking outside of yourself for it, that's my goal. So couples retreat, super pumped about that. We only have 3 suites left. So if you and your partner are looking for a luxurious, magical experience, this is the retreat for you. Now, the other retreat that I will be hosting is the Goddess Retreat, which you guys are very familiar with. It's something that I think is going to be that thing for me that I just will do it. I'm going to do it for a long time because I love luxury travel. I love empowerment. I love coming together in a sacred container where there's no distractions and we can just make magic together. So I'm super pumped that we'll be going back to Copper Mountain, Colorado on April 24th, 2022. We're going back to the same 10,000 square foot ski resort cabin, if you will, because it snowed the day we got there. We're on the mountain literally, and we were just like riding like the sleds down the mountain, and it just brought out our inner child. It was magical. And as you guys saw the fox earlier, Carl showed up multiple times while we were outside. One of the goddesses and I were sitting outside at midnight talking on the last night, and little fox comes running by literally 5 feet away from us, and I looked over at her and I was like, magic, man. So this place in Colorado, cannot wait to go back, and we're also bringing back our private chef, so I'm super pumped about that. He was amazing. And I see Melissa's here, and she'll be joining us, so shout out to Melissa, goddess Melissa, for joining us in April next year. So retreats, coaching, which y'all, I can't tell you, the last 10 plus people that have applied for my 90-day coaching intensive have been hairdressers. So I'm starting to get the gist. I'm a hair educator, soul and hair educator. So I am going to be focusing on doing more coaching and doing some education for the magical kind of stylist, right? So I'm going to be launching a brand new program specifically for hairdressers in the new year. And I'm just so freaking jazzed about all the changes. But changes don't happen until we assess, until we're aware, right? Change happens. The first step to change is awareness. So we have to just be willing to put it out in the light and say, hey, here's what I'm working with. Here's where we're at. Where does the name Carl come from? That's a great question. So as you know, Chris is a hypnotist, and we do loads of different guided meditations. One of the ones that is most popular for sale on his website is the Meet Your Spirit Guide meditation. And this is actually what I've used to develop my psychic abilities, clear my chakras, and really take my intuition to the next level. And in this process, which you can go by and do it yourself, rather than booking a session with Chris, because this one's so popular, we actually do it for the crown chakra at the goddess retreat. And I can't tell you, every goddess that has come has had a different spirit animal, a different guide that has shown up. And for me, when we were doing this exercise, in the experiment, or in the experience rather, he says, now turn around and meet your spirit guide. And you turn around and he says, who's there? Well, it's a fox. And he says, what is his name? And I said, what is your name? And he said, Carlos, but call me Carl. And it took a while, but I realized that Carl was my step-grandfather. He used to give me quarters every time I would visit him. And one day I came home and I walked into my bedroom, and there was a quarter sitting on the ledge of the windowsill. Like, who would ever do that? Nobody put that there. And that's when it clicked. I was like, Carl, Grandpa Carl. He was always trying to guide me and, give me the monies and all the things. So Carl comes from, I didn't make it up, and I love to name things. I name everything. I rename everyone I know. Everyone has a nickname. Like, if I could be like the OPI nail polish namer, just like smoke a little and just like, here's all my ideas, it'd be amazing. But I didn't get to make it. I didn't get to make that one up. So he told me his name was Carl. Great question. Yay, Melissa says, yeah, that meditation, we save it for the crown chakra because we've got to do the work. You guys want to talk to your spirit guides and be psychic and all the things and like have this clairvoyance. No, you don't. Not until you do the other work that it takes. We have to have courage to be able to express. You know how many times I've shared intuitive hits with clients and they've never come back because they were like, that was weird. But I had to have courage to say, you know what? I don't care if someone's going to think I'm weird. I need to practice. I need to start sharing what I'm experiencing. And so you have to have that courage. Then you have to have the compassion. And then you have to be able to creatively express that. So we have to move through the different layers in the chakras, and that's exactly what the Goddess Retreat is all about. It is moving through those layers. So we start at the root chakra, we purge out all the negative feelings about ourselves, we move up to the sacral, we work on our creativity and our sensuality and allowing pleasure and allowing ourselves to receive. We move up from there, we talk about removing the limiting labels that are holding you back, then we do forgiveness, then we do expression, then we do like some psychic abilities like with your like with a partner, do some intuitive work together to start communicating on a different level, if you will, and then we open up to the crown chakra. It's really incredible. So I'd love to know if you guys have any questions about either the Evolved Couples Retreat or the Goddess Retreat, please let me know. Is that meditation part of the Elevated Life Club? It is not a part of the club, but you can purchase that meditation at heyitscarmichael.com. That's Chris's website, and he has multiple meditations for sale over there, so I would recommend that. Any other questions that you guys have in regards to the retreats or working with me or anything like that? I still have just a little bit of time, and then I have to jump off. It has been so much fun serving you guys, sharing this message. This is a time of change. Period. It's the time to get clear on what it is that you want and the direction you want to go, and don't let anything else hold you back, whether it's you or you're giving your power away to someone else because you're people pleasing, you're afraid of their judgment or their fear. All right, I think that is it for the week. This has been so fun tuning in. Of course, we will I'll be back next week sharing some more wisdom, and check out the next podcast dropping for the Elevated Life podcast on Friday. Remember, Fridays are when we launch our podcast, and it's just so fun sharing. We've got a whole new batch of episodes coming. We even did a new Q&A. That was just so much fun. So if you have a question that you'd love us to answer, shoot it my way. Leanne says, gotta go back and catch this, but Chris's meditations are awesome. Thank you so much, Leanne. It's good to see you, hon. I hope you're doing well. All right. You guys are absolutely amazing. I am so grateful to be a part of this beautiful and magical community, and please know that you are not alone in this process of transformation and change, that you are doing a great job. You are exactly where you need to be, and I freaking love and believe in you. So sending you massive sparkle magic. Be sure to set some new positive intentions this Saturday on the new moon in Sag, and be surprised. You'll be surprised how magical and effortless moving into 2022 is going to be. Mark this moment, right? Like, this is going to be that turning point. It's been tough the last 2 years. We won't lie about that. But all of that struggle, all of that ickiness was to create growth and change. And without that pain, we'd stay the same. Okay, lots to catch up on. Message soon. All right, sis. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys. If you love this message, please share it or tag your girlfriend. I really appreciate you guys sharing the good vibes. I'm telling you guys, I need to go silent for the next 5 hours and just come back to myself. All right. Thank you guys so much. Love you. Have a great rest of your week and enjoy the new moon in Sag. Bye guys. Peace.